Hi there. I recently posted on Facebook 5 little words, and they stirred up quite a bit of response. What I had written was that guarded love is conditional love. And I received a flood of responses, both publicly to the post and then in private messages, saying that they range from people having experienced that to people not understanding what I meant by that to being asked to go into more depth. And so that's what I'm doing now, is expanding on those 5 words. Guarded love is conditional love. And what I mean by that is anytime we throw up walls, anytime we build up defenses, we create conditions around our heart. We create restrictions and qualifications and quantifiers. And so whenever that happens, we remove the ability to love freely and from a divine place of connection. It ends up being from a place instead of contraction and fear and restriction. In layman's terms, what that means is that you're keeping score. And anytime you're keeping score, you're not in it for the right reasons, for lack of a better word. And so what this post was initially meant to do was to bring some awareness to this idea of conditional love. We talk all the time about how we love unconditionally, how there are no conditions, there are no limitations on our love. And yet at the same time, we also talk about how we're guarded, how it's hard for us to trust, how it's hard for us to open up, how it's hard for us to love when that love is unrequited. How, of course, we love openly and freely and trustingly so long as our partner doesn't do X, Y, and Z. Or if the person that we love or the person that we want to be in love with or the person that someday we're going to fall in love with ever does a certain thing, then we'll retract our love because that's unforgivable, or that's going too far, or that's crossing the line. And it's the very act of drawing those lines in the sand that makes it impossible for it to actually be authentic love. Because love is boundless. Love is on the exact opposite end of the emotional spectrum of fear. And fear is the place where the line is drawn. Fear is the place that puts up the boundaries and the defenses and the tactics. So if you have stipulations to your love, then it's conditional. And what I would like to see you consider is moving beyond conditional love, moving beyond unconditional love into beyond conditional love. Just go beyond it. Step completely outside of the box of right or wrong, of acceptable and not acceptable. Because even with the concept of unconditional love, there's still rules. And from that place, you're usually saying, I know the rules, but I'm going to still allow them to be broken. I know that a lot of other people follow these particular guidelines, and I'm aware of these guidelines, but I'm going to let my partner do something that breaks them or bends them or steps outside of them. And what I'm asking is for us to move beyond even that into beyond conditioning, where there are no guidelines, there are no rules, there are no statutes of limitation, there is no black and white, there is no gray, there simply is love. This doesn't mean that there can't be limitations and guidelines and boundaries within your relationship. Of course there can. There has to be. That way no one's stepping into victim mode. No one's behaving in a predatory fashion. There's no codependency that occurs or taking advantage of. Absolutely, there needs to be rules and there needs to be healthy boundaries within a relationship. Within any relationship, whether it's platonic or business or sexual or intimate or romantic or casual, any type of relationship that you enter into is going to have some type of structure and some type of contractual agreement, whether it's verbal or energetic. On a soul level, there's going to be some type of contingency and contract that's arranged between the two of you. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the pure essence of love itself. And when we're using that word, which I would love to see used more freely and simultaneously used more appropriately, that we're using it to discuss an emotional frequency that is the highest resonating frequency that is. An emotional resonance that's completely in harmony with Source, that's completely aligned with Spirit, that is the fullest expression of divinity. Because from that place, it's beyond, and there are no limitations. So when you're not talking about that, find a word to express what it is that you're experiencing and what it is that you're desiring. And when you are truly in harmony with the universe and you're in alignment with creation and you're feeling that joyous, effulgent, vast, expansive, limitless rush of bliss and ecstasy that is love, call it by what it is. Proclaim it from the mountaintops and share it because it's limitless. You can't run out of it. It can't be taken away from you. It can't be stolen. It can't be crushed. It can't be tarnished. It simply is beyond conditioning.